Hey guys, it's Robj. Just to let you know that this video is sponsored by Ant Keeping Depot. So in today's video we're going to be taking a look around a new product from High-Tech Ants. It's their acrylic ant nest, small, with temperature and moisture monitor. Now this is the first time that High-Tech Ants have moved into their acrylic nests, and this is one of two of their first time. So this nest is available with or without the temperature and moisture monitor, and if you've got it without, it can be added later on. So having a look around, basically we're going to start at the top, work our way down from this image. So let's talk about the temperature and moisture monitor. It is a magnetic attached hydrometer and thermometer, or temperature and moisture monitor as it's referred to here. It's basically a 3D printed cube with embedded magnets housing one of the standard clip-in pressed temperature monitors that you can get, and it gives it a custom housing. Now if you get it without, you get this blanking plate, and the blanking plate is how you would receive your nest if you bought it without the temperature and humidity monitor. But if you've got it with, attaching it is quite easy. You see this little square? That helps it get lined up. You're just going to make sure you don't catch anything, and it'll hold flush to the side, just like so. It is actually raised, so the bottom of the humidity monitor will actually match that of an acrylic nest with heat cable standoffs. On the inside you can see it looks like, to me, a stainless steel high gauge mesh, which is perfectly adequate for this sort of job. So that's a switch over from a 3D printed meshing to an actual mesh itself. Talking to the creator, the included hydration sponge can last between 2 to 4 days depending on what the monitor is reading. One of the biggest redesigns, even if you're already a customer of them, is their move to this new locking system. It's similar but different. It used to be a push fit lock. Now it is a less of a tight push, but it's held with a magnet to stop the looseness. And this is basically how it works. It has a couple of different accessories, so attachments. This is the tubeless back to back, basically. They're pretty good as far as it goes. They do the job, certainly. On a larger setup, I would support each module. If you were lifting, they'll take a bit of weight, but other than that they will pop straight off. So if you're lifting it off a shelf, say, make sure you're supporting it adequately across the base. We don't want any accidental disconnects. Now, as I mentioned, there is a range of different ones. We have a solid acrylic tube adapter, which gives you, instead of using vinyl tubing, the bendy one, we have a test tube adapter, and then we have an actual tube adapter. And these enable you to create many different layouts. If you want a solid tube, bendy tube, or a test tube for moving the ants in the first place, or that test tube could be a feeding for hydration maybe. You could have seeds in there for a granular species. So that's the nest as we've worked our way down it. And as you can see, the interior is done in a naturalistic cutout shape. Now, if you are part of the previous range, I have a few previous range pieces here. The old connection ports will not work with the new connection ports, but you can take a new tube connector and then on the other end of the tube put the old tube connector. So that means you can actually connect new and original parts together. Obviously cut the tube down if you're actually using it properly, But here you go, here's the whole old 4-way connecting into the new acrylic nest. So you can actually intermine the original sets and the old sets. Now we're going to take a look around a different product. We're going to take a look at the 4-way double connector. Now you might have seen previously the 4-way connector. Now all connectors and other bits and bobs are now available in the new magnetic form if you only want a small 4-way, but this is a double 4-way, and this includes a bit of internal nesting area as well, as the ants do actually nest in the junction port, like the empty square one, the original. My ants actually lived in that before they lived in the tube. So this one being a double thickness one actually gives you a lot of nesting room. And as you can see here, there is many ways to go about situating the layout. It is really easy to reconfigure. You can do all sorts of different things. You can have this as a watering or a feeding port, then a tube to the outworld, and you can just reconfigure quite easily. Now if there's a large amount of ants obviously, then you'd have some escapees, but you just mock them up later and put them into the outworld. But as it's quite quick, you could actually minimise it, especially if you did an old distraction or some sugar water or something in the outworld. It'd be quite easy to do. So this has been a look around the new acrylic nest from High-Tech Ants, and this is the size small, the new magnetic port, and the new 4-way double connector, all containing the new magnetic port. And this here is the solid acrylic tube that you can use instead of vinyl tubing, will give you a nice fixed length, and you should be able to cut that down, but I'm not actually sure how easy that would be to go about. But I do like the idea of a solid connections. Straight. Thanks a lot for watching guys, and I hope you've enjoyed today's review, and I'll catch you in the next one.